Alright, so I ordered some Hedman headers right here. They're a natural finish, just coated in black right now. And that's supposed to all burn off once it started up. But they fit perfect. Sold the other headers for $200. Bought those for $350. So I'm doing pretty good. We're about to test fit the passenger side, which should be easy. Driver side is where all the clearance problems are because the steering box, but as you can see, it just fits perfect. I don't have it bolted up, but it's looking good. So I don't know how long I've been saying I was going to do this, but I'm finally putting the clutch and brake pedal in there. Placing that brake pedal right here. And it's just a skinnier brake pedal with the clutch added on there. And I probably pointed the wrong ones, but they're upside down. Yeah, brake, clutch. It's pretty much just a brake pedal rod right there that goes through the firewall. And then there's a clip right up there. So just got to pop that out and pull that rod off of there. And this brake and clutch duo right here has all the right spacing. So you put that in there. And then the way this is, that brake pedal kicks out to the side because it's an automatic car. And on this, the brake pedal goes pretty much straight down. So it's got room for a clutch pedal. And then I'll do the same thing with the rod connecting to that and just shoot that through a firewall. And brake pedals out, so now we'll just put in the new one just like that. New pedals are on, and for some reason it's got just a little bit of side-to-side wobble, which I don't have the rod fully connected on there. So I'm thinking that ought to fix it, plus the same deal with the clutch, so that should stiffen it up a little bit. Alright guys, we're getting a lot of work done, and clutch pedal's already in, so I'm going to start working on trying to mount the master cylinder. This is a block-off plate that was there because my car was an automatic, didn't have a clutch. So luckily there is a block-off plate right where the clutch would be. So I just unscrewed that, and then it looks like this master cylinder out of the Camaro and the block-off plate have about the same width on the holes. So what I'm going to do is just go inside the car, drill out the holes, and see if this master cylinder will fit in there. I'm trying to make up a rod to connect the clutch to the master cylinder. I already got the master cylinder through the firewall, and on the Camaro it had a big spacer, and I'm not using that. So I'm going to have to shorten the rod that connects it. It's got a Heim joint on the end, and then, this is just a bushing spacer, the inner part of a bushing off of the Jeep that I ordered. And it fits over that perfectly. So I'm going to cut out that inner portion, and then use epoxy or something to connect that back, just because that part's aluminum and I don't want to try to mess with welding it right now. Turns out I am going to have to use the spacer that came with the Camaro. That's what angles the master cylinder up to the top of the pedal, which that's what's going to give you a longer throw in the clutch pedal and more of a mechanical advantage on that. I had it just running straight through the firewall into the clutch pedal, which seemed really easy, but my clutch pedal only had like 2 inches of travel, so that wasn't going to work. So I got some JB Weld mixed up, and I'm about to glue the rod to the correct length. I got a pretty close measurement, but I'm going to glue one side and double check the other end. Liam came over and helped me adjust the master cylinder, so we're all good there. And we're just trucking along on this thing. So the rod's cut to the right length and glued together, as you can see with the JB Weld. So check back on that later, and then next thing I'm going to do is the throttle pedal. So with that, our brake pedal is connected, you can see right there. And then the clutch pedal is in there but not connected up. Smooth right there. And then it kind of starts to bind up a little bit and then doesn't even go all the way to the floor. So I'm going to drill another hole on the pedal a little bit higher just to give it a better angle with the master cylinder, and we'll see how that works. Now I'm going to go ahead and test fit this and see if it works. If not, I'll drill another one, but this looks like it should be good. There's the clutch pedal. We got the new hole lined up in there, and this thing's just operating really smooth. That's exactly how it should be. Also, last time I wasn't going all the way to the floor, but that little bit of adjustment, it's going all the way down, getting full engagement, so that's perfect. And then brake pedal, I'm going to connect that back up for the last time. And then next step's going to be figuring out that throttle pedal and some other fun stuff. So while I'm waiting on the throttle cable and doing that, I'm gonna start working on the pulley and installing that LS1 Innovations kit. So I gotta pull the pulley off of the power steering pump and then bolt it back up, and then the alternator's gonna mount up high right there. So the conversion plate's bolted on there, but it's really close over there. And I'm hoping the alternator will fit, but if it does, I'll go ahead and torque them all down and all that stuff. So I tried to put the alternator on this thing, and it doesn't clear. It hits the A-arm, and I haven't even checked to see as it goes through the suspension, but I can't even run 2 bolts through it. Anyway, this is a huge pain in the ass, but we'll get over it. This is the whole mess of throttle cables this thing came with. It's really just a waste of time, and I'm gonna just run one throttle cable connecting to the throttle body and over to the pedal. So I just got a generic throttle cable off of eBay and connected it up to the throttle body and down to the pedal. As for the pedal, I went with the pedal out of the donor car. Ended up making a whole lot more sense just because it's already made for a cable, and the original pedal out of the Nova had a carburetor linkage, so this one worked out really good and just bolted in with 2 bolts, so not too bad of a deal. So hardware for the new mount is in there, and then I have to trim the alternator right here. You can see that plastic part that comes off of there pretty good. It's got to be cut down to look like that. So I'm going to go for that and then see if it fits. This is really my last bet for this before I have to notch the subframe, so I'm really hoping this will work. And we got pretty lucky on this one. This alternator fits in there pretty good, and it really simplified the whole belt setup just because now we only have 4 things, and the tensioner is even built into the alternator bracket, so I'm really happy with it. Another thing, this setup was $120 and even came with a belt, so I'm super happy with the price on that, and it's a lot better deal than the LS1 Innovations one. So that's going to wrap up today's work. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next time I'm going to be doing a full fuel system on the car, so that'll be pretty fun. Get all the AN lines and pretty hyped to do that. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.